Okay, so later on after my section here, Alif will join us, okay, to do the Pentagon guided trading portfolio system. I think yesterday for those who joined us in the training yesterday, he already briefed you all, okay, and today he's going to do the same things again, right? So closing will be by Martin and of course some of the Q&A from all the members here. All right. So with this, currently it's already 10, and I'll pass the floor to Martin right now.
All right, thank you very much. Can you hear me? I'll just do a sound check, please, if you can hear me. All right. All right, can you hear me? Just do a sound check. Okay. I actually cut myself, so I have to put a bandage to it. Okay, but so let's get started. Okay. If you can see my screen here. Okay, great. You all can see my screen. All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome. And this is something that we've been very excited about, taking this to the next level. So you can see from the chart out here, it's like completing that journey. Many times, when you come to our masterclass or plugin, is more of introduction to the tools. It's like a bit of, I go into the shop, I see, I buy the product, I give it a try. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, but I think some of you who have said that our judging from the 400 over testimonial that we've been getting on our Google feedback, it has been great. But what was always missing is completing the journey, right? Seeing that you actually do what to your potential and how the VSA 360 can help you. And this is why we created this program. This program is something that a brainchild, of course, many of you would have known from the turtle trading that we did last year in December. It's been very successful. We also have the winners, right? And also the participant, both the winner, runner-up, and first runner-up. Arik is not here. I'm not sure whether Roslyn, Zenali is away. So I know some of the first-time joiner will say, wow, all the winner also here. How can I make it? Now, that's what we are doing it different. Now, in the masterclass, sorry, in the turtle trading, we use a method called pullback. In today, just like what we have seen just now, Zach has shown you, we are using different ones. Definitely something we want to let you guys use it. We find a lot of potential, and this was highlighted time and time and again. Those who have been following the Telegram is the overtake the pullback pattern. So we are still testing it, and I do think that if you want to go ahead and use it for this live competition, you can do so too. All right, and we find that this is something it is worthwhile because what we call this actually the overtake uptrust pattern is an old pattern back in the 1980s by Larry Williams, okay, called smash pattern. So if you ever Google that, you'll find smash pattern. So this pattern has been back tested by the World Trader Championship, Larry Williams. Okay, now Larry Williams has a daughter called Michelle Williams. She stars in the Greatest Showman. Now, one thing really interesting about Michelle Williams is she was also a champion of the World Trading Ship. You can just Google Michelle Williams, and she was. But the reason why she became a world champion because to her father Larry Williams was also a trader. So generally, like father, we also want to groom our children, right? But the daughter never really liked trading, and she's gone to the movie, and such as she's very big on the movies. Michelle Williams also starred in the Venom 2. That's her. She's actually a world-class trader. Actually, it's really surprised to see that how people can really evolve, and that's what we wanted to do, to discover that you all have this talent that innate it. All right. So if you look at what we have here, I just want to go through a couple of things, more like an opening in here to really discover what you really are. And this is from our masterclass. So you came, maybe we can be a trader, maybe we can be a super trader, right? Maybe if not, we become a trader that make consistent profits. All right. So that's why we are stepping into this new challenge with the tools, with the new analytics that we have, just like what Zach talked about, and also Coach Fu really highlighting this overtake the UT. There is a lot of new opportunity. I know some of you I've talked to are investor, long-term investors, sort of buy and hold, but there are some opportunity in here. But at times like this, there are always new challenges with new opportunities. So I want to share with you a video that the team has done up, and it sort of sums up everything in here. Right. I hope you enjoy this. And let me just bring out the sharing of sound too. Okay. And make sure, sharing of sound. Make sure it's stereo. Yeah. And here we go.
Our sense of self is constantly changing as we encounter new people, learn new things, and experience different situations. Trading is hard because humans are irrational. We are not always rational in our decision-making, which can lead to inconsistent profits. To move forward, we challenge the status quo and explore new opportunities. With the right tools and education, anyone can trade with TradeVSA 360. Together as a community, we'll help you improve your trading, whether you're a beginner or an expert.
Okay, I hope you all like that video. If you all like that video, give us a thumbs up. Okay, it's a very short video that talks about the challenges that we face and the opportunity of that one. Okay.
Our sense of self.
Okay, let's move on. All right. So next thing we want to look at is taking your trading to the next level. I want you to take this challenge very, very serious. I do know some of you are coming here to learn, right? But we are going to be very hard on you. We're not going to be very easy on you. If you want to be just to pass by and sort of stay on and watch everyone is doing, but we do hope that you will take the challenge, just like you see this samurai warrior here, ready to practice his skill and ready to take on it. Because today, in the Telegram infrastructure that we set up with the rules, we believe you can reach your goal and your full potential. As a trader, average trader, that with making consistent profit with this period, the live trading 20 days rules inside here. Now, the outline of the 20-day challenge outline, like what Zach says, is pretty much simple. We introduced a stock market intraday alert for those of you who want to trade the intraday, but you can also trade daily. Now, remember, the period we have here is 20 days. You can buy on the first day of our competition and hold right to the end. It is possible, right? Or you can trade every 3 days or 5 days. We do not impose those to you. But if you ever get into some issues in here, you can always post those kind of questions on our Telegram group. So we want to share with you afterwards in the training that Zach we're going through, how the different stock market screener can be used for intraday and also for daily charting. All right. And you can also he will also explain some of the stock market screener, makes it available for short term. Now remember, this challenge is 20 days. It's not 20 months. So the first person who has the highest score will win, and there will be prizes in here. And of course, he will also share with you some tips on using to maximize profit and minimize risk. I think many of you would have known, let your profit run or have a profit target or cut your losses if your trade don't work out. So a lot of things that you hear Coach Fu always talk about when you trade the short terms, you can finally realize it in this live 20-day challenge. This is what the challenge is all about in here. Now, there's always short-term opportunity to be had by those who are quick enough to spot it. And with our VSA 360, right now, even as we've seen the bear has sort of quieted down, right? Because we saw the rally last night. So going forward, I think in the month of June, we will see very good recovery, right? Like they say, sell in May and go away, maybe finally over, and then we'll see month of June becoming good in here. So the tools and the arena, we're using the VSA 360 in here. You've seen the snippet in here to buy into the short term. And basically you're buying just for a few days or a week, less than 4 weeks. Okay. The stock screener will tell you what stock is moving higher and you can make decisions and hopefully make some money. The money in context, we have leave it up to you. In this arena challenge, you can use the leaderboard or you can use real money. All right. But we want to keep it fair to everybody where what we call the rules to be consistent, everybody else, we use the Bursa Marketplace leaderboard. That's where you can see the score of everybody else and how well they fare. And it becomes a competition in many ways. right? So that is to stimulate interest and to generate motivation, push to get you to get to the goals, hitting the result that you wanted in. We're going to get to the slides. Now, also Starbucks on us. Now, remember on the Facebook, I did post out, we are giving Starbucks coffee to everyone, all of you, right? Have a Starbucks coffee on us, right? How are we going to do that? We actually send you the Starbucks gift card. But there's a catch. All right, there's a catch. So a Starbucks coffee on me, this is like this morning in here. You all like it or not? You all like a Starbucks coffee? If you all like the Starbucks coffee worth 30 ringgit, just type it inside there on the comment. I'd like to give it to you, but there is a catch. All right, the catch is just refer one friend to us, Zach, for the 10-day free trial, and you will get a chance. You will get, not stand a chance, you will get the 30 ringgit, provided your friend go through the 10-day trial and meet up with Zach. That's all, right? So just imagine, one friend is 30 ringgit. You can refer 3 friends. That will be 90 ringgit of coffee, okay? But they must go through that 10-day trial, and there is one rule. There's a rule also. There's a rule in there to make sure your friend complete the 10-day trial. Now, what I'm trying to say is to give you what you guys are doing right now. You guys are going through the 20-day live trading challenge, but just imagine getting 5 or 10% of what you're experiencing now for your friend. Isn't that a gift for them? Think about that, okay? So Starbucks coffee is on us. Refer a friend. Okay, let's move on. Now, the area that we are talking about in here is Bursa, Malaysia. All right, so in Bursa, Malaysia is the arena where we see everybody fighting everybody. So you can see Coach Arif Alfred, his nickname, myself, Zach, and also these names, apparently we found out in Bursa, it only come out the next day. Because yesterday when I logged in, I did one trade, I brought SCOMNet, and my name is blank. So the person in number 4 ranking, tomorrow your name will come up. So don't worry. So we get everyone. Later on, Zach is going to go through registered. Okay, don't do any trading first, but it's very simple only. There is no timing. Once you go in, you buy only. The Bursa is very fair. You buy at whatever price they have. It's not like when you do live trading, you can park or you can put stop loss. For this one, just go in and do. All right. So that's a very quick one. There's no liquidity problem or whether there's bidder or seller. Just go in and just take it. So in a way, it simplified the whole process. Of course, for those of you who want to take the challenge to the next stage, you want to do with real money, even better. Okay. Now let's look at the prizes. Okay, right? Any challenges must have motivation. This is what we call the carrot. Okay, let's look at the carrot first. So the carrot here is everyone is a winner. If you ask me, everyone who participated took the effort to fill up all the Google forms. It's not easy. I've seen your Google forms that you're putting in, the reason that you are put in, and we hope to help you to achieve them. I think it's always good to have goals, to have self initiative. That's how you want to be, because like you're not trading, it's very much in that area. So really going forward for year 2022, we want to focus a lot on motivating our fellow students to really trade. Now here is the winner. The winner will get 6-month plugin or TradeVSA. The winner at the end of the challenge, which is by looking at the leaderboard. The first runner will get 3-month plugin, and the second runner-up will get 1-month plugin. So previously we asked about monitoring, but we find that a lot of people want to have extension to their TradeVSA. In that way, it's better, right? And we're going to give you another bonus. Catch out the bonus. First person who reach or hit 10% profit in the leaderboard will get 1 more month. Okay. So it's a race to hit 10%. If you hit 10%, you get 1 month. Okay. 1 month plug-in TradeVSA. Maybe you drop back off, but that's fine. First to hit 10%. So that's why we at the coaches will be constantly monitoring the leaderboard at the end of the day, right? We will always count to the end of the day. Okay, we count end of the day, the market close, we will take that into consideration. We don't take during the day because sometimes it will hit up and then come back up. We will take end of the day. All right. Then any challenges who make and stay above, excuse me, above 10% profit and to the end of the challenge, right? Means to the end of the challenge period here, we'll get 1 more month. Okay, and a lot of the discussion that we do here, your journey, plus the interview in our post screening, we will capture those material because we want to study them and we will use it to promote our TradeVSA money. So keep in mind, whatever we use here will be used in our marketing in here. I hope that's fine with you in here, because we really want to, bring the next batch of trader, just like what we did with you in here. And of course, with our Starbucks coffee on you, it is a good coffee on us that you bring a friend to us for the 10-day live trial in here, right? So Zach is going to give you more information to the website. Just go to tradevsa.com, 20 live day in here, or you just send Zach the name of your friends, right? And then we can schedule the free trial and the 30-minute free consultation and training for them, all right? Thank you for your contribution, and thank you for sharing to in here. So let's talk about penalty too, all right? Penalty and competition trading rules, right? All challengers must submit trading journal as recommended, like the one we've seen in the masterclass. Now, for those of you who have not seen it in here, it's not that difficult to fill up the forms inside there. You can go through it, or we can just do a short set. But many of you from our masterclass wouldn't know it. Now, if you do not submit trading plan at all for the whole fall period, because remember, we ask you to submit at the end of the week. So let's say you've been doing trading for the whole week. End of the week, you must submit the trading plan in your Excel. So we want to make sure it is filled, right? If it's not filled or half filled for the trades that you have done, right, then you'll get a penalty on your profits. Okay, so no trading plan, you get minus 5% on your profit. Let's say you make 7%, and towards the end of the day, but you have minus 5%, and you only submit half, right? We depend -1 or -3% penalty. So please submit that. We can also penalize the challengers again on penalty again on your profit if you violate all the basic courtesy or trading ethics, which we see fit. The judges will make a call on the Bursa Marketplace or the trading live 20 days in the Telegram. So we want to make sure everybody conduct this in a very friendly manner. Don't be too so-called aggressive name calling over there, else we will penalize the fellow members. Right? We are all friends, right, in our Telegram group, and we want to ensure that too. So this is the Excel that we will be giving out in here. Zach has a copy, and you can see that we have about 7 or 8 columns in here. Stock price, strategy. What strategy are you using? That's what we want to know too, whether you're using the latest one, overtake the UT, the reward to risk. So we want to make sure you all are following this, and then we're able to capture the average win rate, average lose rate, and we will see that, just like we play the ping pong game, right? We want to know your records to ensure that this is conducted in a very fair way. So this trading Excel will be given up for you to fill out. Okay, let's talk about the competition timeline. Now, like it or not, the competition will only start on the 13th of June. All right, so you have 2 weeks of familiarization, the trading Excel, whatever the case is, 2 weeks. The last time we gave 1 week, not good enough because of the commitment that you have. So now we're giving you 2 weeks. We will start on the 13th of June. We will end at 5 o'clock, 13th of July. So 1 month, right? So 13th of June, we'll start at when the market starts at 9 o'clock in here. And this is our first briefing that we're doing on the 28th in here, right? And subsequent mid briefing we'll do on the 25th. We'll meet up like what we did on the turtle trading in here, where you all can come in and discuss what are your shared learning, okay? What are the challenges that you face, what work, what don't work. So other people can benefit by looking at the scoreboard. This is where we can learn with each other through our Zoom session. All this will be conducted through a Zoom. And then the final session, this is where we give you the rah, 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 and the push, push, push. Finish, come on, try to get to the finishing. The 13th of, will be on the 2nd of July. So take snapshot of this. This will be the date. Of course, again, all this will be recorded here, but we do hope that you all can come and really ask questions and really participate as a community. Just like the video that we say, together as a community, right? We will benefit, and we at TradeVSA will help to guide you whether you are, in the intermediate to the next level in here. And all communication consultation with the coaches and myself will be through the Telegram, the special Telegram group that we set up over there, right? And as soon as the challenge is over, we will revert back to the normal Telegram group in here. So that's the format that we'll be doing in here. So for my closing and my Q&A, you see this leopard in here. You got to be that leopard, thing like that. Always hungry, always on the lookout, right? Because there is money to be made. As I said before, previously, the market bottom will coming very, very soon. Now we've seen that the US FOMC, we have a double bottom on the wicks inside there. And if you look at the KLCI chart, it's going to be turning very, very soon. All right. And some of you may say, hey, why don't we have it next week, right? But it's okay. The market will always be here. I think it's very important that we study and learn from this whole challenge in here. So this is a fact that cannot be done. If you want to be successful, you want to get started today in here. All right. So that's all I have for my opening. And I hope any questions so far, what I've said with you is clear before I pass the floor now to Zach. And I'll come back when on the closing side. Any question? Okay. But if you should have any question, you can always post it on the Telegram chat. And this video later on, Zach is going to be, Zach, you're going to put it on YouTube, right? And just give you a link for all the members to watch, which as usual.
Yes, correct, Martin.
All right. Thank you very much. And I'll see you at the closing of the summary today. Thank you. I'll catch you later.
Okay, so once again, thanks, Martin, for the introduction. Just want to do a quick sound check, please. Okay, is my sound okay? And if my screen is okay, by typing a 1 for me. Okay, thank you, Jean. All right, so today, well, we will start off with the registration first for Bursa Marketplace. Just wondering, anyone here actually got the account already for Bursa Marketplace? Type A for me. Okay, later I will send a link for you to click and join. Okay. Okay, I think most of the members already got the accounts. Okay, good. So for members that probably you don't have the accounts, probably you are still new to Bursa Marketplace, right? Okay, don't worry. So I will quickly go go through all how to actually want to open an account, right? So first of all, I think you just Google Bursa Marketplace in one word. So you should be able to get this link. Okay, go to this website and click register. Okay, on the home page. So once you click register, all right, you should be able to see this pop-up page. Okay, pop-up page. So there are actually different type of method to register, but I just go for Google. And I think the other day, is it Doreen, if I'm not mistaken, they asked me whether I got any confirmation email or not. Okay, so I just confirm again, there's no confirmation email. Okay, normally, yes, some of the website, after you register, they will have a confirmation email, but for Bursa Marketplace, I also don't know why they don't have it. All right, so once I think you just sign up here, key in your passwords, and you should be able to access quite easily. Okay, so go back to home page. I think it will lead you back to the home page. Okay, you go to login this time. Okay, and just log in as usual to go into your account. Okay, now I already created one game, so-called the game over here. This is the one. Okay, I will send the link to you all. Okay, probably just here. No, this is not the link. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, I will send the link to the chat. Okay, don't worry, you can create the account later on. Okay, and you use this link. Okay, I'll send it to the Telegram group as well later on. So you use this link, click, and to join the game that I created. Okay, which is the TradeVSA 20-day challenge. Okay, so once you click join already, I will approve from here, and you're able to see this game, so-called the game, in your Bursa Marketplace account. Okay, so once you join already, I think they will ask you to create your own okay, so once you accept already, you should be able to see this. Okay, until I approve, then you're able to see the game. So once you join already and go into the game, okay, it usually asks you to create the profile. Okay, portfolios. Okay, and remember to create the portfolio. If not, I don't think you can execute any trades. So what you do, you just only need to create your profile names and description. Okay, just a simple few words will do. Okay, and click join. So once click join, I think you can you should be able to access to your account, your this game account. Okay, scroll down, you're able to see this buy and sell buttons. Okay, so this is where that you want to do the trades. Okay, but again, don't do it now. Okay, because when you do it, once you execute the trades ready, your capital will be somehow different. Okay, so we only start officially on 13 June. Okay, so all members will have starting cash of 20K. Okay, we start with 20K. And well, we officially start 13 June, okay, after this briefing over here. Okay, so do let me know if you got any problem questions, okay, when you want to sign up for Bursa Marketplace. I can try to assist you all. Okay, now for those that who already got an account, like I said, you just click the link first, okay, try to join, and I'll add you in the group first. Okay, so all right, now let's go into our very first trade setup for today. Okay, today we're going to do two different type of trade setup. One is the hourly Pentagon, okay, sorry, hourly green Pentagon, HGP, and the other one is NS. Okay, so like I said earlier on, two different style. Again, I leave up to you what style you prefer. Okay, what style you prefer. So hourly green Pentagon, I think it will be more faster. Okay, because anyway, this is the 20-day, so-called the 20-day live challenge, right? So we want to see something faster. Okay, but again, this one is the risk is probably higher. Okay, because we are trading in the markup stage. Okay, so if let's say for example, we have a weak market like this week, okay, then probably you will have you need to do a lot of stop loss, okay, cut loss. Okay, so this is the advantage of trading and disadvantage of trading using hourly green Pentagon. Of course, NS is more the old way, okay, mainly using the daily chart. It's a bit slow way. Okay, but one thing I still like about NS is that you're able to enter close with support, okay, which is low risk. And when they break out, you always can get the gold ball, okay, which is 20, 30, 40%, okay, ups. So while I don't know how market will looks like, okay, on after 13 June, okay, if let's say trading, we got lots of pullback trades in markup stage, but we want to use more on hourly green Pentagon. But let's say it's weak markets, you see most of the stock actually doing shakeout, sideways, probably want to do more on NS. Okay, so of course later on, Coach Ali will join me for the Pentagon guided trading popular system as well. Okay, so well, let's start with how about this Pentagon hourly chart. Okay, why we want to use Pentagon in hourly chart? Okay, Pentagon, hourly chart is a better time frame for short-term trend or look for a continuation or trend. Okay, so hourly chart allow you to enter exit trade more quickly than trading in a daily chart, especially trading in the pullback patterns. To trade pullback using hourly, we need to ensure the trend in the daily chart. Okay, now what I'm trying to say over here is like this. Okay, now imagine now currently the daily chart is long-term trend, okay, and the hourly is short-term trend. So normally what happens is that in the uptrend, okay, chart looks like this. Okay, daily looks like this. Okay, but if let's say hourly, if you switch to hourly, sometimes look like this. Okay, in between of this uptrend, there will still have a mini pullback or a mini inverse pullback. This is inverse pullback. This is a mini pullback inside. Okay, or maybe something like this. Okay, so this is what happened in the hourly chart. Now, what we're trying to do right now is that we know, okay, this chart daily wise, okay, is in the uptrend. Okay, but maybe in this period here, they're having some pullback. Okay, and we want to spot the chance to look for the good entry when the hourly just turns to green Pentagon. Okay, because sometimes daily chart, when it turns to green Pentagon, the candle will be white. Okay, maybe like 5% to 6%. Okay, so sometimes it's too late. But if let's say you're able to spot early in hourly chart, sometimes you can enter when they only up 2 to 3%. Okay, so when they try to spot this kind of so-called the green Pentagon bar, okay, after completing the pullbacks, okay, in this area. All right, so far y'all still with me? Tab A, okay, tab B, you need me to repeat. Okay, why we are using the Pentagon hourly chart. Okay, good, Doreen. Okay, Jean, Rosaline. Okay, Being. All right, I think this is also one of the feedback from there are few members actually. Previously, there's one trade called Ultronic, if I'm mistaken. Okay, Ultronic. Okay, I think now still trending. I'm not sure, but maybe they're doing pullbacks already. So what happens is that these stocks make a very bullish recovery. Okay, so one of the members suggests is that maybe you can look into hourly chart for the green Pentagons. Okay, so that's why after that we try to look into the chart, and we found that yes, if let's say for trending stock, sometimes you got no idea how to look for the entry. I think the hourly Pentagon somehow will help you. Okay, so like I said, currently it's already available in the intraday screener, but of course we only test out I think less than 100 stock at the moment. Okay, so this week is a bit less because this week most of the stock is in sideways or bearish market. All right, so hopefully by 13 June, I can put up more stocks. Okay, we plan to add 300 to 400 training stock, okay, into the alerts there. Okay, so you all can use it in this challenge. Okay, so now daily chart as a trend. Okay, like I said just now, we want to use the daily chart as the long-term trend in this case. Okay, the outlet is the short terms. So we want to look for opportunity to buy in the uptrend. Okay, aim for the pullback area with a low risk entry. Okay, so exactly here. Okay, we want to see the hourly chart just turns to green. Okay, this area. So avoid if downtrend, avoid if daily chart is in accumulation or markdown. So that's why I keep emphasize, right? You must look into daily chart first. Okay, if let's say your daily chart is in downtrend or sideways, sometimes it will trigger the green Pentagon. Okay, for example here, right? This is example like Inari, Bread Tag, all this kind of counters, right? It goes up, it drops. Okay, now sometimes even though in this kind of downtrend, our chart still have this. Okay, our chart still have this, and it will trigger the green Pentagon, right? But you know this is a weak green Pentagons. Okay, because overall direction is still in downtrend. Okay, so for me, I will avoid. Okay, for me, I'll avoid. Okay, now again, I don't want to limit you all to not to trade the downtrend stock because why? Some sectors or counters, okay, like for example, like technology right now, probably they have a big drop. Okay, drop of 30%, assuming that drop 30%. Okay, so sometimes the technical rebound can be 15%. Okay, so maybe you will say that, oh, that I'm trying to get the 8%, okay, from this technical rebound. Okay, I think it makes sense. Okay, but provided if let's say you got time to do, you know, a further study of monitoring in this kind of patterns. Okay, normally for me, if I'm busy, you know, which is, you know, normally I'm busy. Okay, I won't do this kind of so-called inverse pullback setups. Okay, but if you got time, you can monitor your trades in front of your laptop. Okay, I think yes, you can do it as well. Okay, now example this one, right? So Jackson. Okay, can anyone tell me this Jackson here is sideways or downtrend or accumulation? Can anyone here answer me? Yes, it's a downtrend, right? So obviously, okay, because this is the 2040 is at the top, okay, it's trending down, and also the market stages is going down on rate. Okay, so this is the downtrending stocks. Okay, now example here, this is daily chart. This is Jackson. Okay, Jackson in daily chart. All right. So if you switch to the hourly chart, okay, notice here, like I said, in hourly chart, it will trigger the green Pentagon. Okay, you have the green Pentagon, you have the green Pentagon, you have the green Pentagon, but doesn't mean that this kind of green Pentagon you need to enter or trades. Okay, because the daily chart long term trend still in downtrend. Okay, so this is sometimes what we call, you know, maybe it's the inverse pullback. Okay, so yes, technically it will trigger the green Pentagon. Okay, so another reasons why I don't like to trade inverse pullback. Okay, unless you got time, unless the sector drop a lot heavily, like all the tech, and they make a technical rebound. Okay, maybe sometimes it drop 50%, it will make a technical rebound of 50%, which means, for example here, drop 50%. Okay, so sometimes it goes back up 25%. Okay, then I think this makes sense. Okay, like I think previously some of the Gulf counter also, okay, it dropped. Okay, it dropped, make a 1 or 2 weeks of technical rebound, and they continue again. So you want to get this, okay? If not, I think most of the time avoid. So now this is Truby, one of the stock that I think we spotted, okay, after we use the hourly green Pentagon. Okay, again, we are looking into daily chart right now. So what do you think? Okay, this daily chart is in accumulation or markup right now. Is this a good setup to look into? Yes, it's a markup, right? So again, if let's say, for example, some member, if let's say you attended yesterday's section, or maybe, you know, the last month section where we talk about the market stages. Okay, so this is one of the setups, okay, that I kind of like most of the time. Okay, so here, when you hit rates, okay, again, we want to be careful. Is there any sign of weakness or not? Or maybe it's a good time for a lot profit, because why? If let's say there's no big sign of weakness coming in, maybe you will have a pullback. Okay, which they did. Okay, they have one pullback, second pullback. Now, the second things, okay, about these setups is the background is green, trending, and it turns to gray. Okay, so it looks like they are trading very close to supports, and potentially this is a good pullback stop. Okay, because why? If you notice here, we got gray bar above the positive line. Okay, and we got some couple of sound trend very close with a 20 MA. Okay, so this is what it means by, you still need to look into the daily chart, okay, to confirm the trend. Okay, we are still trading using the daily chart, but we just want to get the signal early. Okay, whether the completed pullbacks or not, and the next day we go into resistance or not, so we can actually able to enter maybe 2 or 3% early, okay, compared to the daily chart. Then we try to get like 5-6% when they hit the resistance. Okay, so this is what happened in the hourly chart. Okay, I think this is on 18 if not mistaken. Okay, let me go back to here, 18. Yeah, I think this is 18. This bar here, candle here is 18. Okay, if not mistaken, 18 May. Okay, so on 18 May, okay, it actually triggered this green pentagons already. Okay, so again, the stock should be going up, pull back, and it turns to green pentagon. So from here, we want to see whether we can get a quick profit or not from the supports to the closest resistance. Okay, so for me, this is more safer, okay, to trade rather than the downtrend. Okay, now this is the green pentagons alerts. Okay, so later on, if I got time, I'll go to the dashboard and share with you all. Okay, so this is how it looks like currently. Like I said, this is still under testing purpose. Okay, but we actually fixed a lot of bugs already. Okay, but just that because this week is kind of like weak market to solid market, so we don't have lots of signals. Okay, so once you see the signals already, we always want to check again using the daily chart first. Okay, make sure everything is okay. The price over trend 40s, market stages is fine. Then only we look into the hourly chart. Okay, because some stock over here maybe is already in downtrend. I think like some of the plantation counters like Kim Loan, SOP, the background is pretty weak. Okay, TechScam appear on 20 May. I think the time is still fine. Hexstar, I'm not sure. Okay, then for Hexstar. So okay, what you do is that once you log into dashboard, we VSA 360. Okay, go to premium menu on the left hand side here. Okay, and select intraday alerts. Okay, so don't worry, I will go through dashboard later on and probably share with you all. Okay, so this is some of the strategy we're going to use. Okay, again, daily chart is our long-term trend. Okay, in this case here, because we are entering using hourly chart, so hourly chart as short terms. Okay, I think both is the same. I will keep this both here. Uptrend with markup stage. Okay, so very important. Okay, if let's say downtrend, I want to avoid. Okay, like I said, unless you want to look for a big drop, like I don't know, like Cypark recently, or maybe Soba Dynamic recently. Okay, so they got a big drop, and you're hoping for a 50% of technical rebound. Okay, so yes, you can use that. But if not, I will remain use the trend. Okay, I will follow the trend. Okay, so price above trend 40s. Okay, this is the one that most of the time I'll follow because this is the area that I'm looking for pullback. Okay, so our chart is still the same as well. Now, again, this one I leave out to members because if let's say you are masterclass students, okay, oh sorry, yeah, this is the Pentagon. Okay, not NS, sorry about that. Okay, so yes, you need to see there's a green Pentagon signals. Okay, in our chart using the alerts, and again, price above trend 40s. Okay, if let's say price is below trend 40s, most of the time I think it's like Jackson. Okay, maybe it's a technical rebound, and when they hit resistance, it will drop again. Okay, so you have to be careful on that. Okay, entry strategy is that you enter next day after the green Pentagon's bar. Okay, and make sure that your risk is always less than 8%. Okay, so that's my rules. So for example, sometimes in our chart also, because their movement is very fast as well, maybe one green Pentagon bar is ready 6% ready. Okay, so again, this is hourly chart. Okay, maybe price sideway, they break up 6%. Okay, so by the time when you realize it, the price goes up another 4%. Okay, so most of the time in this case here, probably out of what, because of the risk is high. Okay, risk is high. Now, how I calculate risk is I'll calculate my entry price compared to the low of the green Pentagon's bar. Okay, so this is the first green Pentagon bar for the GP. Okay, so assuming this is 1 ringgit for easy calculation purpose. So if let's say by the time I'm looking into the chart, okay, I realize, okay, yeah, the green parent is there. When I go into the chart, it's already 1.10. Okay, so which means from here to the bottom, I'm risking 10%. Okay, so in this case here, normally I will avoid, or if not, I will use the feature in TradingView. I park my alerts around 1.05. Okay, so assuming I want to risk 5%. Okay, once it hits, then I execute the trades. Okay, we all still with me so far on the entry strategy? Type a 1 for me, yes. Type a 2 for me, no. Okay, thank you, Rosalind, Doreen, Being. All right. Okay, so let me know if you got any questions. So this is how usually I measure my risk. Okay, after I see green parent bar, the next bar, okay, because in this case it's hourly chart, the next hour, I'm looking for entry. Okay, best is that they have a subsequent pullback with low volume, but sometimes when the stock is trending, it really goes up. Okay, like I think the recent one is CFM. Okay, but CFM right now, I'll check got COC lah. Okay, so it got COC right now. Okay, so for CFM, I think after the green Pentagon, they should break up for, I don't know, I think like 5-6 bar. Okay, so very fast. Okay, very fast. So again, I will always focus on my risk first. If let's say my risk is less than 8%, then I think it's okay. I'll go for it. If more than that, probably I'll go for others. Okay, exit strategy. Okay, cut loss is if let's say the price is below green Pentagon. So because hourly chart is very sensitive. Okay, I mean lots of activities. So I'll always use my green Pentagon as my support level. Okay, if you notice, I will share with you a few chart, right? If a stock comes with a very strong or solid pullback, normally the green Pentagon will hold well. Okay, unless the day got okay, for example, the trading days got some bad news. Okay, or maybe got some news like, for example, the war, other news, okay, that maybe sometimes they will do a shakeout. Okay, like this. Okay, a quick shakeout, okay, 1 or 2 days, then it goes back up again. Okay, if not, if let's say the pullback is solid, healthy, most of the time you will see, you will see that, okay, this green Pentagon bar will hold as a good support level. Okay, probably I'll go through some chart view later on too. Okay, so yeah, if let's say most of the time, let's say price drop below green Pentagon, especially when it comes with increasing volume, okay, I will exit immediately. Okay, because I know the seller is coming back. Okay, the seller is coming back, so I want to exit quickly. So cut loss, if let's say hit more than 8%, okay, so that's why very important when you entered. For example, here this is the green Pentagon bar, GP bar. Okay, this is 5%, goes up. This is 5%, goes up. This is 5%. Okay, if you enter here to here, you already risk 15%. Okay, so if you cut below green Pentagon bar, sometimes you are risking too much really. Okay, sometimes you're risking too much. Okay, again, we don't know what happened on after 13 June. Okay, if let's say bullish market, yes, maybe you can get 15% per trades, but let's say market like this, sometimes 5 to 6% is also good enough. Okay, so you don't want to risk too much to get to 5 or 6%. Okay, so very important. Cut. Okay, if let's say it hits your 8% here. Okay, or cut loss, or maybe you exit. Okay, if let's say there's great Pentagon. Okay, so sometimes when you entered, okay, maybe 1 bar pullbacks. Okay, it goes up, goes up, goes up, drop. Okay, red Pentagons. Okay, so probably you can use here to take profit. Okay, if not, sometimes what happens is that there are a few times what happens is that green Pentagon. Okay, so price about to break, but it drop again, drop again, drop again, drop. Okay, red Pentagons. Okay, so you will exit on the red Pentagon. Okay, so there are a few trades actually also like this because of I think Friday, Thursday, the market is pretty weak. So mostly they make a shakeout. Okay, so they fail to hold above the green Pentagons, but with the red Pentagons here. Okay, so in this case, we'll exit the trades. Okay, so remember in our chart, we want to execute the trade faster. Okay, so for example here, this is bull stick. Okay, I think 1 or 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay, they're also having a very nice trend. Okay, at the time also we are starting the green Pentagons hourly charts in bull sticks. So here's one example. Okay, notice here the price goes up, market stages, gray. okay, now it turns to green pentagons, okay, with increasing volume. Okay, so this is what it means by good solid pullback, okay, because green pentagon line change increasing volume, okay. And what happened after the line change? Okay, it will form as a very nice support. Okay, if you notice, most of the time, if the background is good, like I'm referring to daily chart, the LC in our chart will form a very nice support. Okay, so in this case here, okay, if you entered the next day, oh sorry, the next bar, okay, the next bar after this green pentagon, you only need to risk 2%. Okay, which means if let's say it dropped below 2 to 3%, okay, 2 to 3%, okay, from your entry price. Okay, now sometimes like I say here, this is now nice solid green pentagon, notice, okay, and the price also from green, okay, to green again, right? So sometimes, yes, because due to the day itself is weak, and maybe okay, today got some news, okay, it will drop a little bit lower. Okay, it will drop a little bit lower. Okay, so it will trigger the red pentagons. Okay, but if you notice volume is low, which means potentially this is a shakeout. Okay, so that's why I got 3 different type of exit strategy for you. Okay, so for example, okay, in this case, right, bull stick, right, assuming I enter here. Okay, sorry. Okay, assuming I enter here, okay, and if let's say low of my LC, okay, is only 2%. Okay, if I entered here, the next bar to my cut loss, which is the low of my LC, the green pentagon bar, is 2%. Okay, now in this case here, I got rooms for the stock to do shakeout. Okay, which means even though after it dropped and hit the low of my green pentagon, okay, if I see no further weaknesses, I still can hold. Okay, maybe here to here is like 3 to 4%, okay, but it's still less than 8%. Okay, so imagine if let's say it goes up, you enter here, you're risking 10%. Okay, if let's say it hits here, you lose 10%, and you don't have further rooms for them to do a shakeout. Okay, so that's why I always look for risk less than 8% for me to trade. Okay, anyone here still following by typing a 1 for me, please? Okay, you all understand, right, why I entered very close with the bid payment bar, and always calculate the 8% things, okay, because I want to ensure that sometimes I think we never know, right, when the shakeout happens. Okay, if let's say it happens, at least I got some rooms, okay, for the stocks to do shakeout. In this case, like for example here, bull stick. Okay, so I think this round we are giving a little bit more freestyle rules. So I think it's good also for some member to try out this kind of freestyle trading strategy. Okay, now again, this example, this is CFM. Recently is a bit trending, okay, and now it's forming a very nice COC. Okay, I'm not sure whether you hit red pentagon and turns back to green pentagons or not. If let's say yes, maybe it's a good area to look into, okay, later on, right? So now, for example, this is the first entry here. Notice this is the line change. Okay, sorry, green pentagons. Okay, green pentagons bar with LC. Okay, and we're gonna NS. Okay, which is pretty nice. Okay, so we enter on the next day. My risk is 2%. So once they hit red pentagons, okay, against, you can exit if let's say you feel not really comfortable. You're okay with the 2%, you exit with 2%. Okay, so you can wait for the next opportunity again. You monitor the next green pentagon, okay, and it start to move again. Okay, so I think in the daily chart they are having a overtake UT. Okay, for those that who attend the masterclass. Okay, I think you all know Sifu mentioned about overtake UTs, right? So yes, in CFM, the daily chart got overtake UT. Okay, so it goes up. So what I'm looking for right now is that I'm hope you have these similar patterns coming back. Okay, which is maybe they will make a pullback deeper. Okay, and it trigger the red pentagons here. Okay, once it trigger the red pentagons, I'm going to wait for another green pentagons. Okay, so again, the pullbacks from here. Okay, hopefully you'll see that soon. Okay, now any questions, okay, regarding the hourly green pentagons? Any questions, or you need me to show you more example using the real chart? Okay, you need me to show you using the real chart in TradingView. This is the rules we need to follow, right? Yes, correct. Okay, but again, you don't need to fix there's no fixed rules. Okay, I just give you some guideline. Okay, what is the things that usually I'm looking into? Okay, so for example, stop loss. Okay, you can use any of these stop loss. Okay, depending which one you feel comfortable. Okay, so example, again, case by case. Okay, so let's say for example, Heng Yuan. Okay, if I see the movement is climatic and you got upthrust, okay, I'll exit on the upthrust. Okay, I don't even want to wait for the red Pentagon sometimes. Okay, maybe you want to take partial profit, because I think in Bursa marketplace they allow you to do partial entry exit. Okay, but the challenge is to use hourly green Pentagon. The challenge here, we can use 3 different types of strategy. Okay, one is the hourly green Pentagon, NS, and later on, Coach Alif will share you about the green Pentagon trading portfolio system. Okay, so Coach Alif one will be rules based, which means you see, you trade. If you don't see, you don't trade. Okay, but my style is more on freestyle. Okay, more on freestyle. Okay, probably I will share with you some. Let's see whether they got any chart or not that is suitable for us to study. Okay, now in this case, this is Opcon. Opcon definitely no trade. Okay, here it's really sideways. Okay, so if you look into sideways, even though our chart, but this is illiquid. Okay, sometimes I don't like illiquid stock because too many false signals. Okay, false signals. So in this case, I won't really want to look into it. Let's see our dashboard. Let me refresh. Okay, premier alerts, intraday alerts. Okay, so you can go to this date calendar. Okay, historical. Okay, you can go back to past, I think past 5 days, if not mistaken. We keep until 5 days. Okay, yeah, 5 days. Okay, so 23rd of May, but this week really nothing much for Pentagon alerts. Okay, let's see Gamuda. Let's see Gamuda. Okay, it appeared on Monday. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, Monday is 20, right? Okay, 20. Okay, somewhere around here. 2020 is here, right? This part here. Okay, looks like it's a good area for them to complete a pullback. Okay, but the daily chart is not that strong. Okay, looking into here. Okay, I think on 20 should be 20 should be this candle. Is it 20 of, oh sorry, 23rd of May. Sorry, 23rd of May. Okay, 23rd of May is this candle. Okay, this candle. Okay, so looks like it failed to hold. Okay, so this is a stop loss. Okay, a loss. Okay, for example, if I really want to execute the trades, okay, here. Okay, assuming I entered the next hour. Okay, I entered the next hour. Okay, my risk 1%, including fees maybe 2%. Okay, so that's my risk. Okay, by trading these methods here. Okay, so again, always check the daily chart first. Okay, because I think on 23rd, okay, 23rd still okay because assuming I'm looking at here. Okay, yeah, assuming if I'm looking over here on 23rd, okay, maybe still got a chance to do a breakout. Okay, so yes, in this case, I would do the trades. Okay, but unfortunately, market conditions will be weak, drop further, maybe it's a shakeup. Okay, so we're going to exit the trades. Okay, so okay, maybe we give more example. Let's try Heng Yuan. Okay, Heng Yuan, this is a climatic movement, right? So we use hourly chart. Okay, gap up also is a good sign. Gap up. So let's see. But here is still trending. Okay, we don't have any opportunity to enter here. Okay, unless you know about COC. Okay, so okay, now let's. Okay, now this is a nice one. Price goes up. Okay, notice here red Pentagon, but the volume is low. Okay, supported well, green Pentagon is back, but again sometimes they do another shakeout again. Okay, and subsequently goes up. Okay, sometimes in between of this pullback or reaccumulation, they will have two shakeout. or 2 pullbacks, okay, before it goes up in the uptrends. Okay, but of course, okay, let's go back to our chart right now. Okay, but of course now no more trades are, so we got some red Pentagon with increasing volume. Okay, and the price is already at the red market stages. Okay, so even though now got green Pentagon, probably is a bit risky for you to do the trades. So okay, the other one is Altronic. Okay, this is the one that the other day there's few member actually give me a feedback saying that we should have the hourly chart. Okay, so this is the one. It make a reversal. Okay, the price showing a strong trend. Okay, but at the time, because it's very far from the green Pentagons already, right? Assuming here to here, it's already like 40%. Okay, from the green Pentagon. So it's risky to purely looking into daily chart and trades. So what we do, hourly chart. Okay, again, this is one of the member. He do some back testing and he said yes, hourly chart actually work pretty well. Okay, in this kind of trading stocks. So what he do, he wait for again this kind of areas, a pullback area, green Pentagon. He'll monitor pullback area, green Pentagons. Okay, another round. Okay, pullback area, green Pentagon. Okay, to look for a continuation of the trend. Okay. Okay, if alert hourly, if decided must enter the next bar, or we can monitor for more SOW to decide, or maybe EP after few bar. Okay, good questions. Okay, so again, my style is a bit freestyle. Okay, if you learn what is pullback already, or you learn what is COC already, I think it's okay to look for the next few bars. Okay, so for example, my style is always like to look for a lowest entry. Okay, so what I do is that after green Pentagon, maybe example here, I just zoom out a little bit. Okay, maybe after this green Pentagon's bar, okay, I will continue to watch out for a few more bars. Okay, because I'm afraid sometimes you see lunch high volume, they'll have upthrust. Okay, or maybe sometimes I want to look for a low risk entry. Okay, by pipe, somehow lower. Okay, so in this case here, like this LC, right? Normally I will park, I'm very close with the low of LC to see whether I can get the price or not. Okay, if I can get, okay, then I'll monitor on my 8% things. Okay, so I think to answer Rosalind, I think yes, you can monitor for next few bars. Okay, next few bars to see whether got any so-called further pullbacks, happens in the chart or not. Okay, so I think there's another one recently also, not to say trending, but at least it's moving up in this weak market. I think it's EcoMac, but the hourly chart is a bit illiquid. That's a problem. Okay, so actually the daily chart is pretty nice. Goes up, red Pentagon. Okay, if you notice the red Pentagon, it didn't come with volume. Okay, and it turns to gray here before it turns back to green Pentagon with increasing volume. Okay, but the hourly chart seems a bit illiquid. Normally, if let's say I see this kind of candles, I will avoid first. Okay, because there will be a lot of false signals. Okay, so potentially to enter may happen in red Pentagon after the alert. So potentially the EP may happen in red Pentagon. Say you part lower. Not really. Okay, most of the time, right, if you realize the red Pentagon will appear, okay, after the price break below the green Pentagon's bar. Okay, for example, right? Okay, I'm using this chart example. So notice here, this is the green Pentagons, right? Okay, the red Pentagon most of the time it appears when the price break below green Pentagons with increasing volume. Okay, most of the time. So here in this case here, right, you notice the green Pentagons here, even though it dropped to the low of this green Pentagon, it still haven't triggered the red Pentagons yet. Okay, so red Pentagons, most of the time you need to break certain supports. Okay, that only is considered as the red Pentagon. But in this case, for example, if the stock is already in trading in the trend, okay, which is they are moving in the uptrend already, then probably yes. Okay, after this green Pentagon move up, pull back. Okay, so yes, maybe it's in the red Pentagon. But I try to enter very close with the green Pentagon, which means 1 or 2 or 3 bars away from the green Pentagons. Because in the scenario number 2, okay, like enter a red Pentagon, which means this stock is already moving up already. Okay, for example here, green Pentagon move up, pull back. Okay, so you don't have to enter over here because it's already moved up. So you want to confirm that they will have a continuation. Okay, before you look for the trades. Okay, hopefully I answer your question, Rosalie. Okay, now let's look into one more example. Let's look into one more example. I think let's try side part lah. Okay, like I say, sometimes all this kind of big drop kind of counters, they give you opportunity as well, because sometimes the technical rebound can be, okay, for example, let me calculate from here to here is 50%. Okay, so sometimes the technical rebound can be 30%. Okay, so probably you say you want to try to get a profit from there. Okay, I think it makes sense. Okay, but so far I think slide part is still quite early. Let's look into Sabah dynamic. I think Sabah dynamic the other day got a one opportunity. Is it Sabah or I think it's Sabah. Okay, so here a big drop. Okay, 80%, move up 100%. Okay, so maybe here to here got another chance. Okay, so you know, I don't know, maybe this is like a pullback. Okay, and you want to try. Okay, in hourly chart. There's one chart I forgot. Is it ATMS? I think it's ATMS. Okay, example like here. Okay, again we look into the background here. Okay, from the top, okay, this is the previous top to the bottoms, 50%, right? So maybe, you know, sometimes technical rebound, we have around like 20%. Okay, going back like half of the drop lah. So it also giving you around like 70% kind of profits. Okay, maybe you want to trade, you know, this kind of small trend. Okay, here, for example here. Okay, you still can do so. Okay, but again, you need to monitor, okay, frequently, because you are trading against the trend overall. Okay, any questions regarding the hourly green Pentagon before we move to NS? Okay, any other questions regarding the green Pentagons? Okay, don't worry, if you got any questions, just put it into the Telegram channel. Okay, I'll try my best to answer, but like I said, unfortunately, this week the market is slightly weak. Okay, so I don't have good example to show you for you know, using the latest example. Okay, now let's go to the next one. This is trade setup, NS no supply signals. I think lots of members already quite familiar with NS trades. So okay, let's go through here again. So what actually is NS? Okay, NS, whenever you see NS, okay, NS signals in the chart, you always think of lack of sellers. Okay, so whenever we see lack of sellers, which means there's no supply, okay, in the market, or the price level. Okay, the price level, there are lack of sellers. Okay, they don't have any supply in the level, which means this area potentially will form a nice support. Okay, will form a nice support. Okay, anything below this level, most of the time, I'm not really keen and interested, especially when it comes with high volume, because it means that the support is already filled. They might go into downtrend. Okay, if let's say it's low to average volume, most of the time this indicating that this stocks may be having a shakeup. Okay, like for example, Opcon. Okay, I think I shared remember yesterday as well. Opcon already exit ready. Okay, unfortunately, because it dropped below my NS level, I think I exit with 6% losses. Okay, if not mistaken. Okay, but it's low to average volume. So I think maybe they will do a shakeup very, very soon. Okay, so this is normally how I use NS, okay, as my support. Now, why and how? Okay, so low volume with narrow spread bar, which means that this is you know, there's no decision in the market. Okay, so there's no bullish or bearish in the market. Okay, so this is true if you only look at the particular candles, but if the candle come with good background, it means that there's less sell in the market. Okay, so what it means is that let's say, for example, your background is uptrend and you make a sideways or pullback or reaccumulation with NS, okay, maybe over here, okay, which means that there's no sellers. Okay, why? Because the buyer is dominating the trend. Okay, the buyer is dominating the trends. Okay, so whenever we see this kind of pullback or sideways with NS, which means there is lack of sellers at the moment, so it's a good sign. Okay, it's a good sign. Now this will send a signal to smart money that lesser seller in the market and smart money are likely to break the resistance. Okay, or maybe at least they want to try to test the resistance. Okay, now price moves sideways, okay, between support resistance due to buy and seller. Okay, so this is the range tradings. Okay, support area is the area that creates fear, and to check is there any panic sellings. Okay, so most of the time what spot money do is that, okay, they'll try resistance. Okay, if let's say got seller, you will see an upthrust. Okay, back to support here, you will see lots of low volume. Okay, sometimes we see test. Okay, if let's say got upthrust, we do a wash with a spring, or sometimes with a spring. They'll test again. Okay, if let's say got sellers, they goes back again and see whether they got any further seller near support. Okay, if not, they will form an NS. Okay, smart money will try to push the price slightly lower to see is there any panic seller. If no seller, means the area is safe. Okay, now if you realize, NS is a combination of two bars. First bar is a down bar. Okay, but it's narrow. It's narrow. Okay, low volume. The second bar is slightly wider. Okay, slightly wider. Of course, close above the first bar. Okay, the volume is higher. It can be climatic, it can be high, it can be average. Okay, but most important is higher than this bar. And the closing on the next day above, of course, is closing above this bar. Okay, so what it means by smart money, we try to push the price slightly lower. Okay, which means here. Okay, they'll try on the support level, they'll try to push it lower. Okay, to see anyone is trying to sell or not. Okay, if let's say someone is selling, like for example, Opcon in this case, usually the candle will be wider slightly. Okay, and the volume will be increasing. Okay, or maybe average. So smart money know that, okay, maybe it's not ready yet. Okay, they'll try somehow lower to break. Okay, if let's say less sellers, normally the price will hold at the level. Okay, and the volume should be low. The next day, they try to mark up again to see whether anyone is selling on this up bar or not. Okay, so this is what it means by NS no support. Okay, now this is example on one of the previous trades. Okay, this is MBL, but I think now it's already make some sort of like a weak bars already at the moment. Okay, we got a reversal. Okay, so green turns to so-called the gray or maybe red. Okay, so here, but here I think it's okay because the red is definitely smaller. Okay, compared to this area over here. All right, so after that it turns back to green. Hold wells with the NS. Okay, in this area. So this is an area that we can confirm that this is a solid support level. Okay, so this is a solid support level. So sometimes you try to break, but let's say there's against sellers over here, they'll drop, wash out spring. Okay, before they try to go up again. But if you notice, this area here is already form a nice support areas. Okay, because of this NS bar. Okay, I think I still got almost out. Sorry, last slide. Okay, before we close. Okay, now this is how we normally I use it for my NS trading strategy. I use it a lot in daily chart. Okay, I use it more mostly in daily chart, and I use it most of the time in reaccumulation. But unfortunately, right now, KRSC don't have much of reaccumulation stocks. Now recently I use it more in accumulation stocks. Okay, hourly can, but I think hourly lesser NS signals lately also, so I didn't really use it. Could you go back to MBL slide and why the down bar come with low volume? Which bar B? This bar? Is it this bar? Oh, why this bar come with low volume? Okay, I think this is an increasing volume because, okay, why? This volume here is too climatic and white already. So if I hide this volume here, actually this is increasing volume. But okay, now this is a good question, sir. Okay, let me finish the NS first, then I will go to this MBL, okay, before I pass to Coach Alif, okay? So, okay, now let's go to this trading strategy over here. Okay, like I said, normally I use it in daily chart to look for accumulation reaccumulation, and I use NS to check whether the support is solid or not. Okay, so knowing what I do is that I enter the next day. Okay, of course, looking for entry for next day for NS. Okay, it can be 2 days or 3 days later. Okay, so risk again same. Again, NS normally have, it give you some times. Okay, you don't really break out of the NS. Okay, yes, sometimes it happens. Okay, but most of the time it will give you some chance, okay, for you to look for low risk entry. So exit strategy is that kind of same as well. If let's say it drop below NS, you want to be more careful. Okay, especially come with high volume. Okay, you want to ensure it's 8%. Okay, if let's say it close with break Pentagons. Okay, so same thing as well. Now this is the one that you might want to use it in your 20-day challenge. Okay, because your this challenge here will only last for a month. Okay, so probably you want to do this. Okay, so if let's say for example the price have been moving sideways for 8 days, okay, then you need to consider to exit the trades and go for others. Okay, if let's say after NS, right, usually what happens is that after NS they didn't move for 1 to 2 weeks, it will still continue to move into this sideways. Okay, so you might want to consider to switch your stocks. Okay, if let's say they are still moving sideways, okay, for 8 days. So okay, now let's go back to MBL. I think that's a good case study for us to study. MBL. Okay, of course now price drop already I think the real reason why price drop is because of this. Okay, like I said before this, I actually kind of like MBL, but once I see this climatic volume, something is like a bit weird, okay, happening into the chart. So okay, now let's focus this area first. Okay, I think just not being asked why this bar is low volume. Okay, but if you hide the climatic volume, actually this bar for me is average volume. Okay, but for me, the main signal is not from this bar, but it's from this bar. Okay, so this bar here tells you that potentially there is shaker is coming. Okay, here this is the area that every time you want to check whether you got any sellers or not. Okay, here once it hit the previous resistance, double increasing volume. Okay, so that's how you tell potentially the price will drop back to support and do a sprint or sometimes shake up. Okay, in this case. Okay, so yeah, hopefully I answer your questions are being. Okay, any other questions regarding NS before we close? Okay, if not, maybe I go to screener again. Let's see whether I got any good NS or not. Because I haven't checked screener from yesterday. Oh, yeah, but these two in downtrend. High tech and SimW. Okay, let's try. Okay, this is daily chart. Okay, now this is no for me. Okay, LC high volume should form a support. Okay, now this is the LC that I will consider. Okay, because it's still above the LC, but once it drop with increasing volume, okay, the seller is coming in. Okay, especially this uptrust here. Okay, now high tech. Let's try high tech. Okay, this one still in downtrend, but looks like they are slowly going into accumulation. Okay, which I think is a bit liquid. Okay, no for me. Paramount. This one at least better compared to the two earlier on, which is still in downtrend. Okay, but one thing's right, this uptrust. Okay, so uptrust here, resistance. Okay, here support. Okay, so which means lots of seller resistance. Okay, so once it hit here, you have to be careful now uptrust again. So do I have a nice candidate for NS for this week? Well, Harlem. Okay, I think this spring hits NS. CJ Century, but they drop back to LC. But I think overall still pretty okay, right? You can use this LC here. Okay, we got NS as well, hopefully hold. Sun reads. Sun reads still in uptrend. Okay, probably this is the last chart before I pass to Coach Alif. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we got NS over here. All right. But this is already in the uptrend. So, okay, any other questions? Probably I answer one or two more questions before I pass to Coach Alif to continue for the section today. Okay, if let's say there's no questions, Coach Alif, are you there? Okay, oh yeah, I need to. Oh, I need Martin to do it lah. Okay, let's see whether I can pass you the host. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, Alif, you can unmute right now.
Okay. Hello, testing.
Okay, sound is okay, sound is good.
I got stuck. Okay, just give me a minute. Let's prepare first. Okay, you're done, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I sharing now?
Okay, thanks. Okay, I just need to refer the this one. Just give me a minute. Okay, registration, action, and so on. Okay, can. So, all right, good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. And I think some of you were here yesterday. Okay, so again, I'm going to repeat the same thing again, which I'll be sharing the Pentagon guidance, portfolio trading management. But this one time around, because it's a 20-day challenge, so what we will have here is that those of you who are joining, you can follow the trading rules that we have here, but the entry price you can follow on ours, or you can amend to your own, whether you want to enter earlier or exit a bit later or faster. Okay, like yesterday, there was some question that if I enter based on the Pentagon, can I exit on a a bit on the red Pentagon instead of waiting on ATR stop loss? So that will be fine. Okay, so we go through first. All right, this is a 20-day challenge. First of all, welcome for all of you who are joining this 20-day competition. I really hope that you be participating well throughout this 20-day challenge, as well as learn something along the way. It's okay that if, let's say, you had a bit of like some losses along the way, as long as the important thing is to reflect why these losses incur, what happened, and how can we go about to avoid these kind of losses in the futures. Okay, so just maintain the consistency and also your the trading as we go along. All right, so for this 20-day challenge, I'm going to go briefly on the slides here. All right, so I believe most of you have known the Pentagon Guider. Any one of you have for the first time listening to the Pentagon Guider portfolio profile? Okay, is there anyone on the first time? Let me see the names here. I think all are okay. Gilbert also, yesterday you attended, should be no problem. I think most of you here are okay, should be no problem. Yeah, all right. So we go ahead with the slides here. Now, this is what you will see on your screener, okay, which is under the Pentagon Guider by screener. Okay, so when you click on it, first thing first, you need to look at is the drop-down table here, okay, which is the date. On the top left here, you will see we have like the background colors, which is in orange color, and we have some here which is on the blue color. These are indication of the trend zone of the particular market. In this case, we are looking at KLSE, so our Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange. This will be the index trend zone. So we have 1st to 16th of March at the time of this year is on a bearish trend zone. Then 17 to 28 was a bit of a bullishness, and then 29 it was on bearish trend zone again. April we had sort of like 1 week what you call this bullish trend zone, then afterwards all the way until now is on a orange trend zone. Okay, so basically for Pentagon Guide is more of a following, looking at our index first. This is the main criteria. If you open and it is still on the bearish trend zone, then which means you no need to proceed to the next other trading rules inside here. Okay, Right. So if let's say market now is already on a bullish trend zone, which is this blue color background here, what you need to do next is to go to the turnover on your screener. You click on it and you sort from the highest to the lowest. As you can see here, this is the highest, which is 27 million, down right to the lowest, around 2 million. And if there's more, usually in bullish market, we have a lot of stocks in as our candidates, so you have more in other pages that you can see on the bottom right in your screener. Okay, so once you sort already from highest to the lowest, next we want to look at is those which is 500,000 and above. Okay, now turnover is in terms of ringgit, and it refers to the number of shares being transacted at that particular price it was exchanged. Means somebody buy at 1 ringgit, somebody sell at 120, and so on. So these are all shares being transacted, and we have the total turnover here in ringgit terms. Okay. Next, once you have already sort ready and look for those 500,000 and above, what you need to do now is we look together. Number one is the volume has to be 5,000 lots and above, and the price range, number two, is has to be between 50 cent, above 50 cent, and less than 10 ringgit. Okay, so what we have here, the price and the volume, it has to be together. So like you can see, there's one example here under Iris. Okay, you can see this is Iris here. Okay, we can see that although the lots or the volume is more than 5,000, but because the price here is below 50 cents, so this one here is not a candidate. We will just omit out from the list inside here. Okay, then so it has to be together. It has to be like, for example, like Teladan, we see here, okay, volume above 5,000. This one is within the range of 50 cent to 10 ringgit, so we take this one. Okay, and the rest you see, okay, like this one is okay. Like Jax, for example, this one is below 50 cent, although the volume is above 5,000. So Jax not part of the candidate. Okay, so number 3 is to filter out all. And after that, what you need to do next is to look under the code here. Okay, short-term trend percentage and long-term trend percentage. This is what we have the codes here. Okay, the color codes. We go from ascending order from number 1 to number 5. So priority, if it is called green, 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 we look at it. If not, it's red, green, green. Like in the case of Genting Malaysia, what we have like Lion Industries, and then we have LBLM. Okay, Teladan tak ada because the volume, I mean the sorry, Teladan ada, yeah, Teladan ada. Okay, then next you go to other colors and so on. So we look into these color codes inside here. So once we have all this inside, then next we will look at is at the price list. Is at the chart setup. So the chart setup, number one, you have to look is on the left side of the chart. So usually we will look at most maybe like around 6 months. Okay, 6 months or 9 months back, but we don't go further back. So usually 6 months would be just nice. 9 months the most you can go and see. The purpose is to look at how the chart has formed and whether it has a good setup after that. Okay, bear in mind for Pentagon Guider, we are looking at the chart where the price has come down, okay, and moving on a sideways. And we can see that there is an indication from here, the climatic volume, where it's a stopping volume, and volume dry up from here. Okay, and we can see that the price here, we have a small body moving up and down. Okay, now you can use hourly chart to look into this setup, because since it's a 20 days, you can look into the hourly charts if you want to apply the same Pentagon rules. But bear in mind that if let's say the chart has a bit of a difficulty in reading, then you skip it and try to look for other charts that has a more better reading in terms of the punya bar, price bar, and the volume. Okay, right. So once you already observe this, already good setup, then you want to make the entry on the next bar after the green pentagon has appeared. Okay, on the next bar after the green pentagon has appeared, then you enter. And you wait. Once you enter on the opening price of the next bar, then you have 3 options for you to exit. Number 1 is either the price will hit the 30% or 20% profit target. Okay, so for 30% is only when if our KLSE or our KLCI index, okay, is bullish. right? Whereas for 20%, if the market so happen that our KLSE or KLSI market index has become bearish. Okay, right. So bullish and bearish. So in between, usually when we enter is, of course, market is in bullish in trend zone. So we will enter at 50%. If the market from there on along the way becomes bearish, then we revise down to 20%. And along the way, if it goes back to bullish again, then we go back to 30% inside here. Okay, right. So that's number one for your target profit. Number two, if you hit your ATR stop loss, will be the line here, this particular purple line here. If you use the dual ATR stop loss, you have two stop loss. One is at the bottom and one is at the top. Okay, so that one is usually we use if let's say you want to go for a short and you want to have a safer line, you use on that. Or number three, of course, is the end of the 90-day period. But then again, this is a 20-day trading range, so you can omit this 90 days here. You can just aim for these two. All right. Again, this is the rule base we are giving you. If let's say you want to go a mixture of, let's say, using our Pentagon rules, but you want to go for a more shorter target profit 10%, by all means, you can do it, no problem. Okay, but again, as I mentioned yesterday, that will be the discretion trading, what we call it. Okay, discretion trading means you enter, the rules is the same for fixed rules and for the discretionary trading, where you observe the chart, you find a good setup. Okay, the difference is just in terms of your entry, where you want to enter, where you want to exit, and what is your cut loss. Okay, so that will be the difference there. So in this particular competition, this one we will omit lah. Okay, because we are just saving for 20-day period, right? Okay, so far okay, right? Okay. Okay, next, then I will bring to you the stop loss. Just to bear in mind the importance of your stop loss. Okay, your stop loss is your ATR line if you decided to use it, and the price should close below the line. Okay, not touching or one line going through it. Okay, it has to close below the line. Then you exit completely on the next bar. So what we have here in this one, I enlarge it for you. You can see that the price is coming down, and this particular bar here, okay, where we see that the price closed below ATR. Okay, so when this closed below ATR, in this bar here is where you exit fully next day. Okay, but exit fully next day. So price closed below ATR on this particular down bar here. Next bar here on the opening price, you exit fully on the next day. Okay, this is following the ATR. If you were to use your own discretion, you can have the trail of a stop loss, maybe somewhere near the bottom of the recent line change curve or others. That is up to you already. Okay, but if you follow ATR, this will be the stop loss guideline for you. Right? Okay. So important is you take the highest ATR. Okay, the highest or the latest ATR line as your stop loss level. Means this is where we call it as you trail your stop loss, right? Okay, now for the chart setups, some of you have seen it yesterday. For the rest, this is a good indication for you to apply the chart learning. This is where how to differentiate a good chart setup versus a not so very good chart setup. Okay, or in other words, which chart setup gives me a better edge. I think there'll be much more better terms for it. All right, so you can apply what Zach has shared with you earlier, or you can combine it together with Pentagon Guider. Right. So what we have here, that this is a past stack on the tops here. Okay, can show the previous again, Meifeng. Oh, okay, you mean the ATR, is it? Okay, you want to take picture first, Meifeng? Okay, I'll count to 5 here. Let me know when you're done. Okay. So I'll proceed to the next one. Sell already. Then go up. Which one, Meifeng? ATR line. Okay. This one, yes. This is this is what we call you follow the fixed rules, the ATR, it close below, then you exit accordingly from there. Okay. Always the same question people will ask is what happened? I close, but then the price will go up. So again, remember, this is you're following a rule based. If you're following the rule base, then this is where you need to follow. Systematically you follow and you move on to look for other stocks. Okay. If you want to hold it, even though the price closed below ATR, then you want to hold it. That is up to you already. Okay, but then again, that will be, we call it as you fall under a discretionary trade. You know, like people aim for 10% stop loss, but when the price go down below, then you end up say, I still believe that it can go up further. Then eventually the price will go down further. You know, so you get stuck in there. All right. So again, what I'm sharing here is the ATR stop loss for those who are following the fixed rules. But if let's say you want to have your own rules, let's say you give an exception, first bar below ATR, for example, then if it goes up, then I maintain, then it should be okay. All right. But bear in mind the risk involved if you're using a what you call this, discretion trading here. All right. Okay. So coming back to PESTAC, okay, what we have here is PESTAC International as well as Surya Capital Holdings. Okay, so PESTAC International, we can see as a nice chart setup here. So for these two charts, what we have is the price gap up with high volume, okay, and close in the price closing for that particular bar, it closed in the middle or on the high, and it breaks the old resistance to the left. Now, gap up, you already know that this is the gap here. Okay, let's look at capital Surya Capital. This is the gap. Okay, this is what we call the gaps. And number two, if it close in the middle or high. Okay, what we are referring here is this whole bar here. Okay, where if I enlarge it here, we can see this is the bar, this is the high, and this is the low. Okay, if price close in the middle, okay, or there's another one where it closed on the high. This is the one that considered okay, right? Because there is a sort of like a strength, okay, which means when it gaps up, price try to close on the high or in the middle, means that somebody is pushing through the old resistance on the left side. But if the price were to gap up, but then when it comes down, it closes on with the upthrust on the low here. Usually it forms an upthrust if we close on the low here. But other than that, you look at the closing, if you close near the low side, then this is where usually we call it as a weakness. Now take note of PESTAC at the top here, the top chart here, we have says is an upthrust, okay, when it gaps up. But if you look closely to the bar, okay, it closes something like this. Okay, this is the close. So somewhere it closes somewhere like in the middle. If you take it naked, you just take the high, low, and the close, it closes somewhere in the middle. So this is considered okay, right? Now, take note that this indication of like the UT, okay, and the spring and everything, these are all algorithm based. Okay, the system will calculate based on the formula, and it will come out, if it complies to it, it will come out with the indication of sign of strength or sign of weakness. But still, you need to visually view the chart if it is it UT or does it form as a what you call this not a UT, okay, in this example for this particular UT here. Okay, right, so this is price close in the middle or on the high, and number three, it breaks resistance to the left side of the chart. Okay, so I erase here a bit, this one here, okay, and I erase these gaps here. Okay, you look on the left side of the chart, what you see here, this particular chart here, it closes above. You can see is where the recent high and was the low here. Okay, so this was the resistance, this was the earlier support line. Okay, likewise below on the Surya Capital, we can see this is where it was the resistance of the price tried to break up tapi gagal, and you can see somewhere along here, this is where the price gap up and rest around this line here. Okay, so this is where next couple of bars, it should be hovering nicely. Maybe it can close the gap, but prefer not to, and the price continues to move up. Okay, usually if not mistaken, in Tom Williams' book, if the price were to maintain above, okay, let's say already gap up and it maintains above the gaps, usually it will start to jalan naik atas. Okay, you can use FCPO in 1 minute chart as a case study whenever the market open with the gaps, right? If it doesn't close the gap, usually it will just fly up higher. If it closes the gap, come down, then maybe it will move sideways, then it will have either close lower or go sideways. Okay, right. So this is what we see in this chart setup here. And what will happen after that for Pestack, okay, and for Surah Capital is that the price for Pestack here, it goes up 20%. All right, for 20% here for 67 days. And for Surah Capital here is around 20% for 41 days. So if you look during the time, we have the trend, this is the KLCR trend, which is a bearish on this period. For Pestack will be 20% and holding period will be lesser for Surah Capital. Okay, right. So this is how we see the charts here. Now you can notice uptrust for Pestack, the price did not close further. In fact, it revisited the old price again, where this is the first one. And you can notice this is the second one. It revisited again, and you notice the volume here is lower compared to the first volume here. So we look at the down bar. Down bar is on a high volume, but I mean on average volume. This is average volume, and this uptrust, so-called gap up, uptrust on the green pentagon with high volume, but price just visited and eventually it just continues to move up higher from there. Okay, because it never closed our ATR line. So if you follow the rule base, you will not be exited from the market lah. Okay. Again, another one, Surah Capital, we can see that the price did try to, to choke down a bit from this line here, but eventually it doesn't. And it just continues to move up higher after that. Okay. Of course, the big contributor will be this line change lah, right? Okay. Right, so this is one of the chart setup. Number two will be like in this example of Kellington Group and KSL, what we see here is that the price moved upwards before doing a pullback or moving on a sideways, right? And we see there's no weakness found and the price supported strongly on the nice support line, and we want the price to close above the 20 MA or above the 40-20 MA, which is preferably this one lah. Okay, so in this case of a Kellington, what we see here that the price goes up after some time from here to here. Okay, and then we see it seems to be doing like a sideways movement or pullback. Okay, it move up from this range here all the way to here. You can see that the price bar, the spread. Okay, initially we have this one, the big and big wide spread, but towards here you can see is very much the price spread is just very small and the volume seems to be drying up from here. Okay, so usually here there's a bit of a signal coming up from here. Okay, and you can see the price close above the 40-20 MA here quite nicely. And if I padam here, what you notice is, okay, what you notice is that the price goes up and we have an increase in volume. So it's quite a good sign here. Okay, likewise for our KSL, all right, the price shoot up, okay, and it seems to be moving sideways from here on, okay, until at this level here, price seems to be supported. And notice also here we have a lot of those jagged or very wide spread bars up and down, and quite a lot of activities here. Okay, usually we will assume that this is a what you call it, a distribution. Okay, but then it's actually not, because it doesn't really have that elements inside there. Price of course did came down further. Okay, and we have red pentagon, but there's no follow through for it to go down. Okay, it doesn't have that. It just continues to move sideways, and you can notice this area here, especially where the body spread of the price and the volume is very narrow, very low spread there. Okay, and here you see that the price closed above the 40-20 MA. Okay, so this is one of the chart setup that you can consider, right? So one is like either on a pullback or is it moving on a sideways with a strong support. Okay, you can see there's a strong support for Kellington and also for KSL, and price close above the 20 or 40-20 MA. And what happens next is that the price eventually move up higher. Okay, again, if the market is bearish, then we don't really want to exit on the 30%. We have to exit on the 20% here. Okay, so like here 20%, and this is a 5-day holding period. For KSL, unfortunately, of course, the price did went up high, but because of the market was, I think at the time was bullish, so I think is not able to achieve that 20%. Maybe by the time the KSCI turns bearish, we already down below 20%. But nonetheless, at least you exit with a small profit of 8% because this bar here is where we exit. This bar here is where it close below the ATR stop loss there. Okay. Okay. So you see the charts set up from here, right? Okay. Now, another one is SP Setia and Hexstar Global. So what we have here is price move sideways and supported well with no weakness seen. Okay, now sometimes you will see that we have a bit what we call like a shakeout. Okay, Zach always mentioned you see there's a bit of a shakeout, so we do not able to enter. I think yesterday was one which is it Opcom? Is it Zach? You mentioned yesterday. I think that one of the stock that Opcom or something. You can see the chart there is a bit of like a shakeout, but eventually is still within the same range. You can see that is moving sideways. Okay, here we have like parabolic move upwards, but then price just continues to move sideways from here on. Okay, there's no follow through. If you notice on the left side of the chart here, okay, is that we have what we call like a double top, number one and number two. Okay, and usually you have a follow through to go lower, but this one it didn't. It's just maintained at this range here. Okay, we take at this particular range here. You can see it's just moving sideways, being supported well. Okay, so occasionally you have the shakeout, but it's just nothing. It's just going up. You can see at this particular level here. Okay, that we can see a gaps. Okay, let me just padam this. So you can see clearly like it looks like a gap. Okay, this small tiny gap here. But eventually price just continue to close the gap already, so it doesn't have follow through lah. It will just continue sideways moving. Okay, so likewise for Hexstar, price moving sideways as well. As you can see from here until here is moving sideways. It did have a momentum to go up, but eventually just continue to move sideways here. And if you notice on the spring, there's a lot of spring with a shakeout, okay, especially on here and here, but the price just continues to move sideways after that. Okay, so there is a quite nice spring to shake out the weekend holders here. Again, no major weakness is seen, although we see there is a bit like an upthrust here, but it's not considered as major. Okay, remember if the major one would be, let's say, a strong one like upthrust, very long topping tail. Okay, and then you know this is a weakness. Or in this case, like for example, if we take like SP Setia, okay, this is where the price we can see a bit like a weakness, where we have a widespread up bar. Okay, on a high volume, and we have suddenly a widespread down bar here. Okay, fortunately the volume is a bit low, but if the volume is to be the same like this, okay, or if the wait, let me just padam this one a bit. Okay, if the volume were to be able to like come out something like this, okay, for the widespread down bar higher compared to the left side of this bar here, then which means there's a very strong weakness already inside there. Okay, so like if they see in the upthrust, long topping tail, very climatic volume, then you have to be careful. Okay, but otherwise, we look at this chart now, not much of a weakness for Hexstar. Okay, upthrust. SP Setia, only one upthrust, but there's none after that. Okay, very nicely set up inside there. So what I have here is SP Setia, it goes up to 30% within 64 days. Okay. And for Hexstar Global, it becomes another uptrend movement within 43 days to achieve the 20%. Okay, now again, market, if it is bearish, we only exit at 20% rule base. But if they say you have a certain criteria, for example, you want to exit partial also, that is up to you. That will be on the discretionary trades there. Okay, but remember that your stop loss, you need to trail your stop loss. Okay, as the price goes up, you revise up your stop losses, right? Okay, so these are the few of the chart setup you want to consider when you use the Pentagon guider. Now, what are the chart setups that you need to avoid? Okay, this is also important. Number one is we see a regular price and volume spread. You can see on the left side here where we have the price something like this. Okay, or sometimes you will see that whether the price has a bit like this movement, suddenly is a bit dashes, then suddenly got white spread down bar. Then they move like this, then suddenly widespread up bar, and the volume also is a bit irregular also, okay, in this particular bar kind of movement. So these are the one that we entirely want to avoid this kind of chart setups, okay, for the chart readings. Again, another one is will be widespread up bar on high volume. Okay, you can see this spread of the bar is very, very irregular, downright erratic, because you compare to the left side, you see that the spread suddenly is so wide like this. Okay, although it closed on the high volume high, but again suddenly when you, it's like when you are sleeping at that time, then suddenly your kids or your parents just drag you up and make you stand up on the floor, something like this. Then eventually you have a bit of grogginess and you just collapse back to the bed, something like this. Okay, so this is the kind of bit of erratic movement in the chart. Okay, and usually we want to avoid this kind of thing of a chart setup. Okay. Okay. Another one is, of course, price moving sideways with no clear sign of strength in the background. Okay, now of course you see like NS, test and everything spring, but you can see like dia macam air yang sangat tenang. Okay, and there's no buoy at the bottom there. So too calm, too movement like this. Like you see on the left side here also like this, the same. It's moving very, very on the same range there, very tight range there. Okay, so we do not know is it any signs that coming in to say there's a weakness, or there's any signs to say there's a strong support. Okay, so we avoid that kind of chart. Another one here, of course, is widespread up bar. Okay, if we look at scan wolf here, what we see is a widespread up bar on high volume, and you look on the left side where the price has been on uptrend for some time. Okay, sometime it moving up, suddenly you have a widespread bar, a very high volume here compared to the left side here. So usually it means there is weakness coming in already. Okay, and when we have it, it's like up thrust. Okay, I'll notice before this this bar. Okay, widespread up bar. 2 bars after that, we see there's an up bar here, but the volume is so low, and we have one up thrust. Okay, price tries to close above this line here, but eventually close on the low. Somewhere in the middle or near the low, and the volume is a bit increased, and we have down bar here, and eventually price just failed to move up higher. Okay, so usually this is what we call as somewhat like a weakness here. Okay, this one confirmed weakness already here after the price move on the uptrend for so long. This is one confirmed weakness already by itself. And then after that, this bar here where we see there's an uptrust but close on the not able to close on the high side, about volume coming in, means it's like you tekan minyak, kereta naik tapi you turun bawah balik. Okay, so this is a bit of a weakness inside here. Okay, then when price goes lower, then you know that the weakness starts to come in. Okay, so we try to avoid this kind of charts. Okay, is that considered climatic volume? For which one being, is it you're referring to scan wolf? This one here that I'm pointing now. Okay, this one. Okay, climatic volume, yes. Climatic volume. And again, you see on the uptrend side, okay, every time when the price move up, okay, you don't see that kind of climatic volume there. Okay, now this climatic volume here will happen after the price goes up for some time. You have this, or another one you will have is sometimes up thrust. Okay, an up thrust with a long topping tail. This one also considered as a confirmed weakness by itself. Okay, or another one is sometimes is just a small body. Okay, but a very climatic volume also. Right, so this one also can consider that the price try to naik tapi tak boleh. Like you tekan your car engine, right? Suddenly you cannot, the car doesn't move. You know, naik bukit to go to Penang there at the one terowong in Jalan Ipoh there. It cannot go up after you tekan all the way to the bottom of the car floor, but it doesn't move up. So this is something of the weakness inside here. Okay, right. So these are the charts that you need to avoid. Okay, this kind of setups. And another one that I personally observe, and I find it quite true also, is that when there is a major sign of strength weakness and there's no major support seen, okay, usually if you see any upthrust with high or climatic volume, in this case here, okay, like I explained earlier, upthrust, high volume, and another upthrust again, climatic volume here compared to the left side of the chart. So this one we usually want to avoid. And if let's say after this end of the program, you want to continue using the Pentagon, right? Notice that anything on the Pentagon, and you go back to 3 months back, okay? 3 months back. So here to here, we have 1 month. Here to here, we have 2 months. Here to here, we have 3 months, okay? So ini bulan 3, ini bulan 2, ini bulan 1. Anything within 3 months range, right? If you see this fellow here, okay, then you don't bother to consider this stock. because sometimes it may continue to go down lower, okay, or it can continue to move sideways further for quite some time. Okay, there are of course some occasion that the price may go up higher, but we are talking about the age where which one that gives you the more better chances of getting a good or a good trade or a price that goes up, okay, or to hit either 20 or 30% if you're using the Pentagon guider. So this one we totally try to avoid when you see this kind of stocks. Okay, like Milux also, I believe is the same. Okay, Milux, if you see there is a uptrust with climatic volume, you can see on the mid-May here, and we see there's a strong spring supporting here. Okay, I think Milux here, I forgot, I haven't got the time to check yet. If this kind of setup here, usually we want to avoid this kind of setups. Okay. Right. Okay, Milux, I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll update inside here. But this one here, yes. This one is yes. Okay, this is where you want to avoid. First 3 months from the backwards from the green Pentagon, if there is uptrust or very what you call this widespread up bars, okay, on climatic volume, the one you want to exit from there. Okay, Milux, I'll get back to you on this one. Okay, right. So any questions with regards to the chart setups? Okay. For now, I think for our KLCI, I believe this is still on the orange trend zone. I think the one that I'm holding now also is, what you call this? Apa tu? Okay, where's my mouse? Pentagon guider. Okay. Mayfeng question before being, oh sorry, okay, tak nampak. Okay, when the chart is horizontal line, dot usually will go up or down. Mayfeng, I think you're referring to those price which is a bit dead one, right? Okay, let's say, kejap, I'll come back to you for in a short while. So let's go to our Pentagon here. Okay, am I still active? Okay, not active. So let me just masuk kejap. Okay, screener, Pentagon guided buy. Let's see on our market, 27. Yeah, for now it's still all the way red here. We're not sure. KLCI has been moving on the sideways range bound for quite some time. So I don't know. If you look on weekly chart, it looks like going on a accumulation phase. Okay, with has a chance of like naik, but we are not sure what's the event going to be like. So for now, this is just on the red Pentagon here. Okay, you can go through and have a look here, but again, we are looking at KLC market index as an indication, so it's the red color. If you're want to use this the rules, but you want to have it a bit discretion when it comes to your entry and exit and stop loss, by all means you are free to do so, because this is a 20-day challenge. All right, just make sure that you look for the right chart setup first. Okay, Mei Feng. Okay, I come back to the charts here. Okay, is it this one, Mei Feng? Referring to this one, or was it this one? This one, is it? Okay, right. Okay, so usually for this kind of setup, right, this one I would, for me lah, I will avoid it. Okay, because it doesn't tell me price is either going up or coming down. Okay, or like this one, the one I draw, this dot also usually I avoid also. Okay, if there's any sample of stocks, that I can share with you, just hang on. Let me just find one of it. Okay, let's say on the trading view, what stocks do we have here? Okay, I can, let's say for Bursa, yeah. Okay, I know what. Okay, so let's go for our Malaysia side here first. Okay, FTSE index, is it? Okay, so let's say for the mass index, for example, this is example. Okay, just example lah. You can see the example. This kind of price movement. Let's say go for 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. If erratic volume like this is a bit hard for me to read. So if price movement usually in 1 minute, if something like this dashes suddenly along the way, you got like widespread bars, then this is the kind of charts that you want to avoid. Okay, and this is an example, yeah, Mei-Feng. But in some of the stocks, I can't recall the stocks that, but they do have it. Those kind of stocks is where you want to avoid the kind of setup, because it won't give you that much of an edge, you know. Of course, people would say that, but sometimes you see sideways here, then suddenly you get up here. Yeah, correct. But before that, you won't be able to see that kind of movement, you know. You won't be able to determine, is it going to go up or going to come down? Okay. Same meaning for a minute chart. Yes, if you were to switch to a 1 minute chart, for example, you can't really see much. Okay, so if you go to the hourly chart, you can see a more clearer price movement and volume inside there. Okay, so remember, with volume spread analysis, it can only be applied if, let's say, we have a very healthy price and volume movement. If it is not healthy, then we can't really apply the same into it. Okay, I think pretty much like Forex, some Forex, they have volume. So you can use that methodology of VSA to read it. Okay, otherwise, if it is just purely on price, that one will be another methodology already. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Mei-Feng. Right, so for the others, any questions? Okay. All right, so if do not have, thank you for your time, and I look forward to see your participation, your active participation in our 20 days challenge. Okay, so if nothing, pass back to Martin, is it? Zach, we are passing back to Martin.
Yeah, just give me a minute and
Okay.
I'll be back with you guys shortly.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just finishing my last so-called word here.
Welcome, Kim Lan. Just remember that this is a fixed rule space, all right, as I mentioned. But again, we are doing on a 20-day challenge, so there are some things that you can tweak about it, no problem. Just make sure you look into the right chart setup, the one that give you the edge, and that's why you want to make the entry there. Okay, now it's okay if you want to make mistake, it's okay, no problem. People learn more from mistakes than they learn more from all the 100 winners that they do. Okay, so imagine if they say you started as a trader, you want to be 100 trades are all winners, definitely you will have emotional breakdown psychologically because you can't accept the losses. But if you were to do along the way a lot of losses, but you learn from that and you keep on doing it, and you see your trades being improved from there, that is much more better. Okay, masak pun sama juga. Okay, nobody can cook the perfect Maggie. You have to like, hey, too watery lah, you know, or the Maggie expired, you didn't read lah, and so on. But after a while you experiment, then you can have that perfect Maggie flavor to that level that you want, you know. So it's the same principle.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, Martin,
I'll just share screen.
I'll pass over to you now. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, just type 1. Okay. All right, great. Thank you all for staying, you know, almost 2 hours. That showed the kind of enthusiasm that I've seen. But I do believe you're the top 2% of the population when it comes to trading and learning. Of course, for those of you who are listening from the recording too, I would say the kind of commitment that you are able to put in, I think that's also great. So let me just sum it all for everything. Be aware of the competition rules, okay, which we talked about earlier on. Those are competition rules. Basically, we have some of the ethics. Do the necessary thing that you need to. Do the trading plan, the Excel, and remember there will be penalty for not doing it. Now, if you follow all the rules and you do it, the reward is there, awaits you, right? Be the first person to hit the 10% and you get additional 1 month plug-in free for TradeVSA. And I think what's more important, we don't want to take away the experience that you will be getting in here. Now, just now in the last 1 hour, Coach Arif and Coach and Zach also share with you the intraday strategy that we have inside here. The intraday one, using the alert, no supply, overtake the UT, which is the latest one that we are doing up in here. For the next 2 weeks, you can actually check it out and try it out. And then also the hourly Pentagon chart. You can see VSA 360 here. We continue to serve you in the right way where opportunities are open up, like we see in the intraday, and we develop those. Of course, those who want it in the longer term, because we're trading over one, you have time to watch it. You can also do the Pentagon guided trading portfolio, which is Coach Arif was sharing with you those rules. You can use daily charts, and that's a shorter terms. But as I said before, moving from being what you used to be, buy and hold, if there were you, an investor, right? We talk about the barbell strategy that we done in the main course. Now we are moving into this. And then finally, the combo, what we call mix and match. Now, this is something that I've seen a lot in the movies where the Sifu, right, tell the student, Kung Fu shows, the Chinese Kung Fu show. He said, now that you learn everything, how can you learn more? The Sifu will say to the student, forget and know from the inside. So what he's saying that once you already practice this day to day, you do this move, you see the rules, right? What Coach Arvi say, right? Now forget about all those rules. When you see that chart, that 1 hour, that setup of the bar, you will know what to do. And that's what we call known your unknown competence. That is what we call the unknown competence. Coach Arif, Zach, and Coach Fu, myself, we all have developed that. So when you are ready, right, forget and know your unknown. That's my final word for you. For those of you who are starting off, just follow the intraday. It's fine to make mistakes here because we have the Bursa Marketplace, which is a paper trading, and that's why we want able to capture those mistakes and make improvement for you going forward. So when you go up and trade your real money, that's going to. Now remember, we start on the 13th of June. So we've got 2 weeks of rehearsal and do all this in here. There is a, do we need to upgrade our trading wheel? No, you don't need to upgrade your trading wheel. You can still use it. But if you like to do so, you find it's lacking, you can also do that. But I don't think you need more to spend more than it. Perhaps maybe after you finish off that 1 month, then you find that, hey, no, this is something, it's a gap that I need to fill up, then maybe you do that. But meanwhile, during this competition, you don't need to do anything other than what we just talked about today, the rules, the reward, the strategy, and so forth. And finally, my last quote to you, live life to the fullest and embrace this new opportunity, which we never know it was possible. Now, just think of it. For those of you who is working, you trade the Malaysian share, right? Sorry, for those of you who have more time, you trade the Malaysian share. But for those of you who is working full-time, the next live trading competition may be year-end. We will adjourn to the US market. So new opportunity for everyone, as I said before, in here. And all you got to do is live it to the fullest. That is my ending word in here. And thank you for coming. Thank you for the last 2 hours. We're able to stay. You're able to stay with us. I know this is a busy weekend for most people. They are out with the family, with the economy reopening now. Now, any question, just pencil in there. But no worries. You can also do that in our Telegram Live 20 Days Challenge. So I'll pass the floor back to Zach. We will close it out in here. And I do hope the effort that is made by the coach and from on behalf of my company, TradeVSA in here, right? We are here to be of service to you. Thank you very much. I will see you in our Telegram chat. And we have the 13th of June, a reminder, right, that we will go live. Bye-bye.
Okay, so once again, thank you, Martin and Coach Sharif, okay, for the section earlier on. So while we want to close, we're going to close the section here right now. So if you've got any questions regarding the 20-day challenge, don't worry, just text it to the Telegram group. We'll there to help you out. Okay, so with this, thank you, and we'll see you again soon.